everybody, I'm Keychain. Today we have update 7.6.0. Okay, there's a lot in this and there's a lot of patch notes, but a lot of them are, I don't know, they made a big deal out of stuff that, you know, it's it's not as good as it seems. So we'll take a look at everything. But first, before we get started, just remind everybody that, you know, if you're not on the Amazon App Store, if you're in a region that has Amazon App Store, then you're leaving money on the table. And that's all I'm going to say about that for this video. Okay, so getting into the new gemstones. There's some cool new features and some things that we want to look at, but of course, first thing everybody wants to know about is these new gems. So the Sanctity gems, looking at the new gemstones, comparing like Troop, the max legendary before on Celestial was 618%, going just to basic of the Sanctity, you get a pretty, 30% jump in all troop stats for that one. Going from the regular, attack, health, and defense gems, it's, a 70% jump. But most people are probably like me, and they're somewhere down here in the flawless and the rare. So if you're going from a flawless or a rare at 900% or 1000% jumping into this, you're gaining either the 300 to almost 400% jump in attack for just one gem. So doing that times 4 for the attack gems and times 6 for both the health and defense gems, pretty significant stats. And then the max for these, 2,162%, which is, it's crazy. Looking at the cost of these new gems, this is going to be a big point in a minute when I start talking about math and some of my complaints. So it's 1.77 million or 77 billion to craft one gem. Okay, we need 18 of them. Just keep those numbers in your mind. 18 gems times 1.7 billion gemstone essence. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll swing back around to that. The next thing I kind of want to show off that's kind of cool is up here next to the gemstone showcase is this new little gemstone score guide. We've been asking for something like this for like a year. And it seems like they've finally taken into account some of our suggestions. The one thing that I don't like here, my small critique, where's the commas? Like, separate the values by comma so that I can actually see this clearly without having to hold my finger over the phone or write it down so that I can differentiate, if it's 18 or 1.8 or if it's 18 or if it's 189. Like, some of these numbers, it's just annoying to look left to right and try and do the math when there's no comma values. So hopefully they can fix that. It's a small thing, but we'll see. Basically what it does in here is it shows you all of your 18 gems and what their status is, so I can go through and see all of my gems at a glance without having to scroll through my gear. You see that I'm not very good. I've got a bunch of basics in here, and I play the game a lot, I spend a lot of money, and I still have lots of basic gems from the last cycle because the cycles are too fast. So, looking at some of these things, it shows you what will happen as you upgrade. So if I go from Legendary Celestial to a basic Sanctity, I'm going to lose points. I'm going to lose 13 million points. And then after that, I start to gain. So that's one thing that players have always been confused about, is how the upgrades and things like that work. Yes, you do lose high score points when you go from legendary to basic of the next tier. If I went from epic, I don't think I have an epic, but if I go from like a rare celestial into a sanctity, I gain points. Not many points, but you could see that, if you're not at legendary or epic, then you're going to gain points going into the sanctity gems. This also helps us with, previously they were always behind on the scorer card, so you'd never know how many points the new gems are worth until well after. But now it's released with the update, which is a good thing. Okay, the next thing, we're done with gems for now. We'll swing back when I start complaining, and then you guys can decide if you want to watch that or not. The next thing I really wanted to cover is the Crown Invasion changes, the new Crown Invasion store for KvK. Crown Invasion is KvK, if you guys don't know the acronyms, but Crown Invasion KvK. There's now a new store up in the top right, this exchange store. Now, this is a good store, all right? I think this is a positive change, and this is a very good store as far as things in here and the cost. Now, before we start looking at how many badges you actually get, there's 24 marquee badges available. So keep that number in mind as well. And then there's aristocrat badges. There's other things in here that you can get 100 aristocrat badges now from KvK if you still need those. You can get scholar scrolls, war documents. Like, they have all the things we actually need in here for long-term grinding. And what I mean by that is things like intensity gears are a long-term grind. Airship refinement scrolls, long-term grind. War documents, scholar scrolls, long-term grinds. Glory Banner, another long-term grind. Takes a while to max out all the buildings to 40. I still am nowhere near doing it. I've been playing the game for like 2 years. So there's that. And then recruitment banners. So there's things in here that you can use. One thing I recommend, don't stretch yourself thin in this store. Decide what you need to focus on the most and do that. Just because one KvK, you get, 50,000 badges, doesn't mean the next KvK you're going to be able to repeat that. So if you get 50,000, don't go in and spend 50,000. The store comes back every 2 weeks. Get the things you need and focus. Unless you're one of those players that absolutely always gets the same amount of points, then you don't need to listen to this. But if you're a regular player, there's some KvKs you're going to get a ton of points and some you're not. So going into the actual individual rewards now, looking just at the rewards category, ignore the bonuses category for now. We'll talk about the bonus category. I was previously wrong in another video because I didn't know how to read properly. Actually, we'll cover it real quick since I'm talking about it. At the very bottom of the screen, so you'll get the bonus rewards if you occupy the Supreme Palace of another kingdom. So basically that means you have to conquer another kingdom if you want the bonus rewards. So don't count those in if you're in a kingdom that just defends or you haven't conquered anybody. Don't even look at the bonuses. That's something you'll get if you ever do decide to conquer, or you have the opportunity to conquer another kingdom. Now, with that being said, if you are going to conquer another kingdom, you should go ham and try and get as many points as you can, because there's a lot of extra bonus badges and resources on the bonuses side. So adding up scores, going through, you get 4,000, 6,000, 9,000, 13,000, 18,000, 23. So you get 23,000 badges to get to the 66 million tier, and then 200 gets you to, oh man, I just lost my count already. Too many numbers too early in the morning. But basically, when I added all these up, you need to get to the 500,000 tier to buy all 24 badges. At the 200,000 tier, you can get at least 16 badges, which is what we could get previously. So it's pretty much on par. And then if you do decide to max out, it tiers up pretty quick, and you can get an additional 19,000 badges and 25,000 badges if you do the 1 billion and 2 billion points score rewards here. So if you just do 200,000, you won't be able to buy all the badges. If you do 500,000, you'll be able to buy all the badges and a few other little things. So you kind of got to focus on what you want in the store and go for that. Once I've unlocked my my tier 13s, I won't be buying marquee badges from the store. I'm going to start focusing instead on my airship gears again. Because that's a long-term grind that you need. Depending on, excuse me, sorry. Depending on how things are going, I may purchase some Scholar Scrolls here and there, may do some war documents, because things like that, they're actually pretty cheap. You could get all of these Scholar Scrolls for pretty, not very high into that tier. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out is that they changed the leaderboard rankings to go with this. So, looking at the invasion kill leaderboard, for example, they switched it to give crown badges. So, if you end up on the invasion kills leaderboard, you will get rewards there. If your alliance ends up on the alliance invasion kills leaderboard, you get additional rewards. If you land in the individual kills, where like I was ranked 6,600. I'm not a big KvK fighter, but looking at some of these names, like these people are all going to get a ton of badges. Look at number 1, 55,000 crown badges. That's a lot. Even scrolling down into the top 1,000, you get an extra 750. Like that's pretty decent. I don't know what the bottom is, what top 1,000 would be, but that if you're actually fighting in a KvK, you might be able to land that pretty decently. So I barely had any kills. 825k. I think that was from like attacking a tower or something. I don't remember, but okay. I think that's it for KvK and the Crown Invasion and the new Crown Invasion store. I don't need to beat that one to death. There's a bunch of little optimizations. One that caught my eye because I love creation is that they said that they were changing. They added up to 15 plunders per day on each, and they said they were optimizing the plunder rewards. I have not seen a difference in the plunder rewards at all. It seems the same to me. When I plunder this, I still get 8 or 7 of each of the materials. Same amount of coins, same amount of resources. So I don't know what they optimized there, but it doesn't seem like they did much, or maybe it made the patch notes and it didn't actually happen. But the loot and the things that you get from Plunder do not seem any different to me. I guess it's cool that we have 15 plunders a day, but you don't get that much stamina every day anyways. So, I don't know. But talking about creation, when they first saw that and I saw the patch notes, I was freaking out. I was like, I really hope that they don't make the Brilliance Crest easy to get for everybody, because for the last year, I've been spending pretty much all of my gold on Brilliance Crests, and I'm so close to finishing my creation that I did not want to have that available to everybody. So, it's one of those things like if you've done it the hard way, you don't want other people to have it the easy way. And I know that that's selfish, but that's I'm so close to finishing. See, I just need one, this one right here, and I only need 60 fragments, so I'll be able to pick those up hopefully tomorrow, and then I'll be done with my Brilliance Crests. And then I still am upgrading equipment because you don't get enough materials. Like 2 years of creation, and I still am not plus 20. It's sad, and that's why I was hoping that they might update or fix that piece of it. So maybe I was getting more materials to get to plus 20, but it is what it is. One more feature that I want to talk about is this new cart feature in the Spirit Mines, Expedition, and Catacombs Trader. Now, before we talk about the cart feature, they didn't update any of these stores. So again, it's one of those things like the boycott and the things that they asked for, they did a little bit, and that's some of the rent stuff I'm going to talk about in a minute, but it's not anywhere near where it needs to be still. So they don't understand us. They don't understand what we need. Hopefully we can portray that this is not good enough and that they can do better. Getting into the cart feature. When you click your cart, I can't do it because the things I bought are sold out already, but tomorrow I'm going to be able to check the things that I want to buy and save that. So once it's saved, I'll just be able to hit buy and auto buy everything from the store. And I'll do the same thing for this store, same thing for this store. So 3 clicks, done with these stores. That's great, except for the thing that it's going to make it hard for is looking for new things if and when they're updated in this store. if you're just auto buying every day, you might not glance through it and look. So you're going to have to pay attention to my videos to know when this store finally updates, if it ever updates, which they really should be doing more often. Okay, so that's it for like actual like update new things. We'll talk about quickly the time targets and the champion gifts and that type stuff. I like that they broke this down in the time targets to show exactly what gems you have and exactly which ones are worth points. And then you get free gold for having score from the previous upgrades, or if you're, one of the whales or krakens and you're maxing gems today, you'll get a crap load of gold for increasing your points. So, maxing your points out and getting Sanctity Gems up to max +5 legendary, you're going to get 480 points for each, which will add up quickly, and you'll get tons of gold if you're upgrading this week. Other thing is champion gifts. This is a spending event that comes along with every major update. Spending, regular amounts of money will get you some things. Spending absurd amounts of money will get you cool things like March skins, airship marches, lots of these new scrolls, special epic attacks, legendary attacks, really cool stuff. If you're willing to spend thousands of dollars this week, which I am not. Some people will, some people do. Personal choice. You do you. But for me, it's never going to be something that I could do unless, like we go big time on YouTube and I get to like 1 million subscribers. Then sure, maybe I'd be making enough money off of YouTube to actually do some of this crazy stuff. But unless that happens, I won't be spending that much money in this game ever. Okay, now let's get into the complaining. This is where we circle back to that 1.77 billion number, where it costs 1.77 billion to craft one single new gem. And we need 18 of those new gems. So doing 1.7 times 18, it's 30.6. I didn't even do the 0.7, but over 30 billion gemstone essence needed just to craft basic gems for the new set. And in the update notes, they made a big deal about having additional gemstones available. And this was because of the boycott and the things that they said and the things that they asked for in the boycott interview meeting. If you haven't seen that, go over to Muffin's channel on GOG. You can search Muffin GOG. That's how she pops up, usually in the search results. She's got a really good video on there. It's an hour long, an interview with the developers and us kind of asking for some changes, them asking for some changes. So in here, they made a big deal about New World having more gemstones can be earned, and Night Siege, more gemstones can be earned. And it's laughable, and it shows that they don't understand what we're looking for. They don't understand why players are getting burned out, because this is their solution to having more and compensating for the inflation. It's like your boss at work giving you like, hey, here's a 10% raise. Good job this year. And you're like, dude, inflation was 400%. What am I going to do with this 10% raise? Like buy a pack of bubble gum with it? Like, come on. That's exactly what they're doing in this game. And that was someone else's example from the letter, but it's legitimate. They're like, here you go, we gave you more gemstone essence, and it's nowhere near the inflation rate. So it's kind of pathetic. It's infuriating. Looking at these numbers, I added up the gemstone essence here, and you get about 500 million, which seems like it should be decent, right? You're like, oh, 500 million gemstone essence for New World. That's cool. Well, New World is I don't know, is it every 2 weeks? So it's twice a month. So you're getting 1 billion a month from New World. if they did similar with Night Siege, that's another billion. So you're getting 2 billion a month. So it's only going to take you 18 months to craft the basic gems. Not even looking at the updates and how absurd they probably are. I'm guessing to update from basic to I don't know if it's basic to flawless or basic to precious, whatever. Upgrading once, it's probably, I don't know, 2 billion plus. Knowing them, it's infuriating. Hopefully they change it. The other thing that really needed to happen is they always update the shooting gallery one update behind what's actually needed. They needed to update this like now. So looking at this, we get, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 23 million from the first tier and 37 from the second. So spending a bunch of shooting gallery coins isn't going to get you anywhere near where you need to be. They need to add an extra 0 on that. So that's, 235 million and 370 million. Then with 12 shooting gallery coins, I might actually be able to get somewhere. But, it's breathe. It is what it is. It's just hopefully they make changes. The other thing that they said was going to happen is that they would slow down the releases. And while listening to that interview, it doesn't seem like they're really going to do it. It seems like the main point that they took out of that is that we wanted only one major thing per monthly update. Not that we wanted it slowed down. We want the whole update cycle slowed down from this 28-day update pay to win cycle. At least that's what I want. Having this, 28-day cycle of spending and upgrading, unless they really give a significant amount of free-to-play stuff along with those patches, it's going to continue to burn people out and get them to quit. So, okay, I think that's it. I mean, looking at the update notes, there's a bunch of little optimizations. Some of the things I can't find. Even having their description, I can't find what they're trying to show me or what they were trying to highlight. If you find anything major that I missed, let me know in the comments and we'll try and spread the word. But I really think that's it for this update. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I will see you in the next video.